share you the link, and here it comes.
No need to share the link, right? I can just directly go.
Share you the link. Can't believe we are live, and here it comes.
No need to share the link, right? I can just directly go.
Share you the link. Can't believe we are live, and here there's a lot of delay.
No need to share the link, right? I can just directly go.
Share you the link. It's getting creepy because the things you are telling to me, lot of delay now. I am
No
hearing
need to
it now.
share the link, right? I can just directly go.
Share you the
1
link.
second, I'm just
It's getting creepy because the things you are telling to me, lot of delay now. I am
No
hearing
need to
it now.
share the link, right? I can just directly go.
Share you the
1
link.
second, I'm just
It's getting creepy because the things you are telling to me, lot of delay now. I am
No
hearing
need to
it now.
share the link, right? I can just directly go.
I am still hearing.
1 second, I'm just
It's getting creepy because the things you are telling to me, lot of delay now. I am
No
hearing
need to
it now.
share the link, right? I can just directly go.
I am still hearing.
1 second, I'm just
It's getting creepy because the things you are telling to me, lot of delay now. I am
No
hearing
need to
it now.
share the link, right?
Your
I can
voice is
just
clear.
directly go.
I am still hearing.
1 second, I'm just
It's getting creepy because the things you are telling to me, lot of delay now. How about now?
Sorry?
No, I am checking because when I opened my tab with the
And
live stream preview, it was awkward. And there's a huge delay in the
did
video.
you just created it for kids?
No,
Yeah.
no,
See, it shows mini player is off for mode for kids.
seriously.
Okay, let's change it.
Oh, it's made for kids. Actually, I thought made for kids is different. 1 second. Robotics, stream health. But there is a huge delay. I mean, I am not seeing my video live. Jesus. OBS is handling correctly, video, which means Video Ninja is working, but YouTube
It
is
is
not working.
working, right?
OBS and Video Ninja is working, but YouTube is screwed up. YouTube is stuck. So I would say it's a couple of, I think 30-40 seconds behind.
Yes, 30 seconds. Yeah, that is common thing. Okay. We are good to go, right?
Uh, I think we are, but kind of not confident about the entire video thing because I think I don't know whether it's an issue with the. I think it's better not to look at the stream, right? I mean the preview and rely on OBS and hope everything goes well. Correct?
I think
What do you think?
there is issue. Better not to look at the screen.
Right?
Yeah, correct.
Right. Let's pretend as if everything is going well. Luckily, there is no one there to see it, so no harm.
So no one is watching. Just a second. Give me a minute. I think we need to figure it out in the next stream that how we can solve this.
Mm, yeah, it's it's okay. Okay, no, for first timers, it's actually great progress.
I hope so.
Yeah. So you want to start, or should I?
Get started.
Okay, so you'll start. Hmm.
Want me to start it?
Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome to our brand new channel called Big Box India. So today we got Shiva with us and I'm Sai Kiran. Today we are discussing about basic F1 and about Miami Grand Prix, which is going to happen tonight at 10:30. That is pre-scheduled 3 hours before the main race.
Hmm.
Shiva, do you want first tell us what is really F1? Let's start with basic.
Before we go into that, I think let us give an idea about ourselves to the audience, because a lot of people might be
Yeah.
wondering who are these guys, what are their qualifications to talk about stuff. So
Are
I'll
these
start
guys
with
from 20? Are these guys from 2021 or 2020?
correct, because there are, if you have been following F1 for long, you will understand that there is multiple categories. There is the extreme old, not old, I would not categorize them as old, that's bad. I would say the OGs. Then
OG.
there is the guys like us who started following around 2010, 12, that era. Then there is
Before
the
Liberty.
pre-liberty, that is the right term. Then there is the newbies who we don't actually consider as true F1 fans. It will raise a lot of hate, but I'll tell you why that is later. Yeah. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Shiva. I'm from India. Started following F1 around 2008ish, to be honest. That is a part time. I didn't start full time until 2012. Part time in the sense that, the old days when we Star Sports used to take care of the streaming. The every sport I got introduced to was when we randomly switch channels, a good sport comes in and we watch it. So that's how I started with F1, and I think I got serious about it after playing F1 2010 game in 2012. So, if you know about it, back then
Hmm.
in India, it is common to play a game 2 years after it launched. Today is when we play it on the launch day. So after playing that game, I really fell in love with the sport, and I started watching races. That 2012 was when I think Sebastian Vettel won the title. More importantly, that is a very awesome season because of how competitive the races were. So that's it about me. I have been following ever since. There have been seasons where I missed a lot of races because either due to since I was in college, didn't have the money to buy OTTs. Then or I
It was
if I do if I
pre-OTT era.
pre-OTT
It
era,
was a,
yeah. That time also, I think around 2014-13, the government decided to make channels paid. So that was
correct.
it was not easy to convince my parents that you have to pay X amount to get a stream.
So if
So
you know, at back then,
hmm,
cricket used to come in Star Sports 1 and F1 in Star Sports Select.
yeah,
Or
select,
Star Sports
yeah, and that was the time I
Select
think
was very costly. It
it
was
was very
around 100
costly.
rupees, I think. Yeah.
Yes, and there have been instances where we used to get these packs. These cable guys used to give packs. So I always
Hmm.
convince my parents, don't get me anything else, get me a sports pack. But that was not a viable solution. Viable solution only came when I started earning, and I got a subscription of Hotstar. And that's it about me. Regarding F1, I'm really mad about the technical stuff. I really enjoy knowing the technicalities of the sport. not much interested in the politics and everything. F1 is a super political sport, by the way. If anyone is watching, be aware. It's not. It's crazy when you start dwelling into how much politics goes into it. So, what about your side? I know a bit about you and your experience with F1. Just can you just casually tell them to the audience what it's like?
Yeah, I started F1 as a part time in 2012.
Hmm?
That's because I read there used to come a Forbes list, Super 100 Forbes list.
Yeah.
That time I saw Lewis Hamilton name in 10th or 12th.
Hmm.
So I was wondering how did a driver is in 12 and Sachin at 30. Then I started to watch the sport. Then I understood that they are actually underpaid at that time. What they are doing stuff in the track. From after 2016, when not Geo
It's,
Hotstar, it was Hotstar.
Disney controlled
Hotstar
it.
used to broadcast it in phone. So from there, I started watching it continuously.
Hmm. So, what would you say is a memorable moment that you have noticed in the past? I would say 15 odd years, no, 14 odd years you've been watching, right? Something that really sticks in your mind when you think about it.
Most memorable,
Yeah, for you personally.
Nico Rosberg becoming champion
Hmm. Yeah.
because he always says that he retired because from the sport because he bet Lewis in that year. So beating Lewis is not easy.
Got it.
So that was like memorable. I think in between, if you remember, I think 2 years back, there was no broadcaster in India. I paid literally 3,500 rupees for F1 to watch it. But
I
that was
think
amazing experience, right? You will get all onboard cameras, all the communications.
if you want to grow pro, get FNTV Pro. Like you can get six screens simultaneously. So if you're thinking about keeping six screens, one for each driver, one for telemetry, and you want to make your own cockpit, get FNTV Pro. Otherwise,
Yeah.
personally, it doesn't make sense to pay that much price unless you want to tell the crowd I own F1.
Fanford is doing pretty good, better than Star Sports.
Yeah, but one of the things I really miss about Star Sports is that I'm talking about the pre 2012 time. They used to have a pre-show and a post-show. That that was not for India focus. Basically, Star Sports was stealing Malaysia stream. So that time
Hmm.
there was a guy called Alex Young. You could Google him. He is a meme because of the fact that he is one of the most notable paid drivers to exist in F1. Alex Young. So he used to
Okay.
run the pre-show. That was not meant for India. So never. That was not that. Normally Indian commentary or analysis is all about jokes. It's all about fun, not fun, jokes and memes. But Malaysian stream is all about the talking. No jokes, nothing. Just like two MIT professors talking physics amongst themselves, but learned a lot because that those days, if you remember, I mean, the pre 2015s or something, it race used to start at 5 o'clock. Pre-show used to start at 4 o'clock. We used to watch all the pre-shows because it felt emotional, powerful, a lot of stuff. Yep.
But let's come back to the topic right now.
Yeah,
Can
be aware.
you explain in simple terms what is F1 and why it is more popular than NASCAR or any other series?
So, in a nutshell, as everyone you say, 20 fastest drivers in the world driving 10 because each team has two drivers, 10 of the fastest cars in the world. That's F1. F1 is always looking
11.
at 11. Yeah, now we are
11.
11 always because for the past God knows how many years, there have only been 10 years, 10, sorry, 10
10
cars,
cars. Yeah.
10 teams. Now suddenly
10 teams.
11 is kind of a big change. Okay. So, F1 is the pinnacle of motorsport. it's just not because of the glitz and glamour, because it's all about the tech. So in F1, technology is at the peak. You can't survive in F1 if you are just an average Joe. You need to be special, like with regards to technology, with regards to driving and everything. So
Hmm.
in a nutshell, F1 is the fastest sport in terms of the overall. Don't look at the straight line. Overall, you look at corners and everything. And also, it is a pinnacle because it is technology dependent. It's extremely technology dependent. And lot of the other sports, due to the cost constraints, they don't like to keep it technical. If you look at Le Mans, NASCAR, they are nowhere near the technology which F1 uses. So that's for me F1, and that's the same reason I would say it's called the pinnacle of motorsport: technicality and the drivers. What about you, in your opinion?
What do you think about who is the governing body in F1? Like in cricket, we got ICC. In football, we got FIFA. So there it would be a governing body, right, which governs the sporting regulations.
So regarding F1, it's called FIA. We call it Mafia, MAFIA, for all the wrong reasons. So it's Federation International Automobile. It's French. That's why you get these crazy names. It's French don't like to keep it straightforward. By the way, FIA is not dedicated for F1. In every four-seater or a vehicular racing in the world has to be approved by the FIA. I mean, NASCAR generally doesn't follow the FIA, but I'm telling normal countries. USA is a better different country. So why FIA is
Different
really
con
different country and continent, their own rules,
their own rules. Yeah.
their own rules. So FIA really plays a crucial role because they define the technical regulations. Like F1 is governed by technical regulations, so it's nothing but they will tell you can do this within these limits. They don't tell
Hmm.
explicitly you have to be this. They'll tell you can be within this, so that within this it's possible. The flexibility I'm meaning. Also, one more important role FIA plays is the safety. So F1 is a very dangerous sport for what it is. Like it's highly dangerous for the drivers, not only drivers, for the crowd, because there have been instances where crowd have died. Also for the marshals. So for marshals are basically support staff. So FIA has to govern the rules in such a way that safety is ensured, and they have been doing a fantastic job in that aspect.
So from last 10 to 15 years, it has been safer right now.
I wouldn't say it's safer, but it's not safe yet because F1 will never be safe 100% because the sport is such that danger is part of the resume. If
Hmm.
you look at it, driver deaths, if you plot a graph between driver deaths and years, it will definitely come down. But will it be zero? I highly doubt it because the sport is such that even if you enforce utmost safety parameters, there will be a tragic incident every now and then. And F1 is such a sport that they really improve. For example, let's say today someone unfortunately passes away due to X reason. FIA will make
Hmm.
sure X doesn't happen again. So it's a very long process, and it's a risky business. It's not meant for people who look to get 100% safety records.
What can F1 come out of the FIA rule book and make their own rules? Like in IPL right now, we got impact player rule that is not in ICC books, but BCCI made that rule, right?
The
And in football also, few countries uses VAR. India ISL doesn't use that.
Actually, if you talk discuss about it, there have been hints which are happening because the F1 is an F1 the organization is totally
Hmm.
independent of the FIA. Like although
Yeah.
technical governing is there, F1 is run by
Hmm.
Liberty. You told earlier, Liberty is an
Yeah.
American company that controls F1. It has its own CEO, technical team, everything. That is independent of
Hmm.
FIA. Normally, these guys work together. The different scenario is that normally in cricket, BCCI is kind of bigger than the ICC. because of the revenue. But F1 is not there yet. F1 is not bigger than the FIA because the other sports, if you club them, they will be bigger than F1. When you club them, not as individual, when you club all of them, the fan base might be
Okay.
bigger, the cost might be bigger. So the monopoly is not there for F1 to make its own way. Second is that the drivers are people who want to go to other sports. Like for example, Max Verstappen has been racing in the Nürburgring 24 hours. So if F1 becomes the own entity, that's very difficult to happen because FIA will simply say whoever is racing in F1 can't race in any other sources, any other sports. So it's not as straightforward as the BCCI IPL thing because F1 is not in a level of or control which BCCI has over ICC. F1 doesn't have that.
So, what about the Formula One group, which is owned by the Liberty Media?
Mhm.
You think earlier investors that is CVC Capital Partners
Mhm.
and Burley Eccleston,
Yeah.
you think that Media is doing better than them?
Yeah, obviously Liberty is doing better because before Liberty, and take two aspects: before Liberty, after Liberty. Before
Yeah.
Liberty, F1 didn't care much about their online presence. They didn't care
Hmm.
about the younger generation. They didn't care about specific markets because the
Okay.
Bernie Ecclestone's version was raw racing. Everything will come into place later. But the problem was that in a cost perspective, it didn't make sense because when you start racing without doing commercialization, you end up in a loop where you are burning through cash
Correct.
because there's no actual revenue. Apart the TV rights weren't so big back then. The only cost you are getting is actually sponsors, but still, if you don't have a digital presence, sponsors used to are not interested. So when Liberty came back, I would say came in. The biggest change they bought was that they basically decide to digitalize everything. Digitalize in the sense that strong social media presence, strong OTT presence, and more importantly, they started targeting the Gen Zs and USA. The problem USA why USA is a big market when it comes to spending. So when you look
Hmm.
at Asian markets, Asia is a growing market. So F1 is a sport that can't be easily absorbed in Asia because of the fact that a lot of people still can't access F1 due to the OTT cost and everything. But in US, it's not like that. It's much easier to get an OTT, much easier to access F1. So Liberty tapped into the market, and now it's selling like crazy. If you look at that's why we have been seeing Drive to Survive from Netflix, which is a show dedicated to F1 from Netflix. Also the F1 movie. I don't think pre-Liberty the F1 movie concept won't happen because that was a very different time for F1.
And you don't think Liberty Media is now putting more focus on the US market?
Yes, they are. There are
Three Grand Prix in particular
not
countries.
only that. The entire if you see it's F1 is now a spectacle. Earlier it was a spectacle only for motorsports purists. Now it's turning into one of those gala kind of events where celebrities come there to show their presence. Like for
Hmm.
example, if you go to every US race, there will be some celebrity who's just there. They won't understand the sport. But they are there too, so that the media takes a get a glimpse of them. I call it aura farming.
In
So
India also it's like in
IPL,
India also it's like an iPhone
yes,
moment. Like I watch F1.
yes. So in my personal opinion, the F1 going to USA has its pros and cons. I mean, not going, focusing. The pros are obviously more fans, more money, more better experience. But the cons are actually now on the surface it might look perfect, but FIA is not FIA. F1 is indirectly promoting American drivers who might not be on par with the best because they want an
Hmm.
American driver in the car. Same with American teams. I'm not telling American teams are bad. Historically, they have been good teams. But let's say there are two teams. One is American, one is German. The American team will always get preference because of the amount of revenue they can bring in from the American audience. And it might not be a fair process. You will get biased.
So it's not about revenue itself, right? It's about that driver caliber, team's caliber.
Yeah, ideally it should be the case. F1, where there have been, I mean, talking about that, there have been people who bring in money and also bring in talent, but it's rare. It doesn't happen every time.
Is there any historically any American team which won championship? Any American driver?
American driver, yes, Mario Andretti. Mario Andretti is the only name. I think there are others. I mean,
Did he win the
successful.
championship?
Yeah, Mario Andretti won the championship. I think it's 80, 79, the Lotus double wing car, not the double wing, ground effect car. Andretti won the championship. I think one more, I think Phil Hill or someone is one more guy is there. It's not, when you look at the amount of years, F1 has been happening for the 60, 70 years now. It will barely make 0.1%. That's it. But
No American team won the championship, right?
no, American teams have not won any championships. Like the only American teams
Haas.
in Haas is there. Then there is a team called USGP. Then that's it. I mean, older teams might be there, but no one has won a championship.
Hmm. Coming back to India,
Mhm.
people and the government is telling that F1 will come back to India. F1 is telling that we are not coming back. What is this chaos? What do you think?
Personally,
Where we are missing?
F1 came to India in 2012, 13, 11. The issue
Yeah,
then was the customs because F1
custom.
is a sport where a lot of
Hmm.
freight in the sense that the containers, the items move every now and then.
Yeah.
If you charge import duties for those guys, they already are bearing a cost for the shipment and for
Hmm.
the sport. Yeah, Indian customs was not kind to them, and it didn't make sense for them to stay in India for long. Regarding whether F1 will come to India or not, 30% yes, 70% no. Why? Because already lot of tracks are in a better position than us to get into the calendar. You look at most of the countries that are in talks with FIA, they have a better infra. They have better customs, all those things. They have better tracks. I don't say Budh is a bad circuit, but if South Africa has Kailami, that has more historical value. For example, also like I don't know whether yes, India has a large F1 market, but I don't know it will be worthy for F1 to come to India because they will only come to India if they feel they will get a benefit.
So
And hmm,
Saudi Arabia government pays 300 crores every year to F1 to organize a race there. Can Indian government do that?
I
Because
pers
we are not able to put a proper football match. Are we able to put an F1 race?
even in 2011, it was not the Indian government that did all the dirty work. It was JP Group. It was the personal money they put into the project. Indian government
Hmm.
was not at all interested, apart from sending their dignitaries to wave the flag and give the trophy. That was the only connection Indian government had with the F1 in 2011, 12, 13. You remember
Yeah.
people come waving the flags and everything. I'm not going to name them for obvious reasons. Don't want to end up in trouble.
Will
Uh,
JP make 300 crores from selling tickets?
Never, never. Why JP did it? I thought they expected the government to take up the project, but the government was not interested.
Not interested.
Not
Yeah.
interested. Now I think Adani is in the picture, but still, I
So
don't.
any Adani you may put in Reliance, Adani, anybody, will they make 300 crores? Now, if you put
No,
in, it will be
RO
400 crores.
the promoters ROA is very less in F1.
Hmm.
How do you get money from F1? It's the tickets plus the brands will always like for example, if Mercedes is obviously in F1, they come to India, they race. The brand awareness is gonna kick in because if let's say Mercedes wins the race, people are
That
gonna
is for the brand. No,
yeah
that's what you
no
are saying. It's a brand.
normally what
I'm
happens here is
telling for
that
off.
Mercedes will help Adani or whatever to they will do sponsorships. Like that's what I'm telling you. They won't pay Adani to come bring a, but they will tell if you come to India, and we will also help you with money, a little bit of money, not the 100 crores. I'll give you 20 crores. You put my logo here and there, promote your my yes crazy. But again, the problem is that the brands which are in F1 are niche brands. They are not the brands which we normal Indian can afford. So I highly doubt whether Mercedes winning in India is going to increase Mercedes' sale by 50%.
Red Bull, it can increase Red Bull sale.
Red Bull, irrespective of F1, they will increase the sale because of the brand awareness. But still, again, one more point is that you rightly told Saudi Arabia, the intention of Saudi Arabia is different. Like Saudi Arabia wants to project themselves as a emerging economy, as a place where people can come do stuff that is exciting. But Indian government's objective is not that. Indian government doesn't care if you come here, play polo and go. They don't care if you actually bring investment. That
What about
Hindi Marmaris is Danda. They care about
okay,
Danda.
it's okay. Okay, maybe Saudi's point of view would be different, but we can compare with China, right?
Yeah, but China doesn't. It's not mad about F1 like Saudis. China for China F1 no F1 equal. They don't chase the FIA to bring F1 to China. FIA goes to China because of the amount of the car market. See the car
Yeah,
market.
that is no
Hmm.
F1 is chasing China because Chinese government is supporting them.
Yes,
Are we?
but I would say Chinese government is not crazy about F1. If
Yeah.
but I personally would say yes, government will support it, but not to a level where they are willing to close eyes for F1 to come to India.
So one more point is the entertainment tax. See, there is no entertainment tax for IPL.
Yeah.
Even though IPL is an entertaining sport.
Hmm.
The government says F1 is the entertaining sport.
And
How do you agree with them?
F1, can you repeat your point?
Government says F1 is an entertaining sport, but cricket is not.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't agree with that because when you start taxating a sport, you are destroying all its potential to grow. Because
Hmm.
let's say I am bringing F1 to India, I have to get 20% tax. I'm like, I have to pay tax and I'm getting zero. It's like I
Hmm.
have to be mad about F1 to do that. As in a business sense, it doesn't make sense for me as an investor. So I would say for F1 to be successful in India, government has to forget about taxes. They have to rely on hope that the public grasp onto it. They will be able to sell a lot of merchandise, lot of brand awareness, lot of things would happen.
See, bringing F1 or Formula E in India, the tourism increases, the flight tickets should be booked, your hotels should be booked in that particular location, right? Your cuisine will increase, your local sales would increase. People coming to India not only goes for F1, they also visit Taj Mahal.
So overall, tourism industry will benefit.
That's what other countries are doing. Why do you think China would allow F1?
No
Because
particular
people
reason.
going for China would also visit Beijing,
Got it.
Shanghai.
Also, one more thing I would like to state is that, yeah, let's say hopefully F1 comes to India in the near future. See, MotoGP came to India in 2024, if you remember that. The main issues they were facing, one was that Budh is the only circuit in India that is capable of hosting FIA capable races and FIM. FIM is MotoGP's ruling body. Issue
Yeah.
is they were really concerned about runoffs. If you remember, MotoGP riders were not willing to race in India because there were particular corners. If they fall, they will die. Literally, they told that if we fall, we will die. That is one. So second is that heat. So F1 came to MotoGP came to India somewhere around October, if I'm right. It was peak summer in India, and that really didn't help anyone. Normally, this is why, if you remember, certain races in the calendar are placed in that time because to accommodate to the climate. But I don't think FIA will be willing to move into India's winter just for getting more viewers or betterment. So my point is, even if F1 comes to India, we have to work a lot on the infrastructure, the training, planning, and everything. Because I don't think India is capable of handling a full scale event. Because the MotoGP event was very sketchy. There were instances where there were random dogs coming into the circuit. Imagine that. That is, in Europe also it happens, but in India they used to come for fun. Snakes, dogs, everything used to come for fun.
Do you know about snakes and dogs in Hyderabad? There was Formula E race in the track, in the street circuit.
Guy came
Suddenly
like
they left the traffic inside.
that's it. Organization is a different game altogether. But people like Karun Chandok have been trying their best to empower F1 in India. So hopefully, when there is a time when F1 comes, they would have done
What
enough
a-
work.
what will you do with AQI? Will F1 allow that kind of
I
AQI?
personally think for 3 days you get exposed to that much pollution, you will not die. It's all about the theatrics. But the problem is that
No.
environment will tell you are already your AQA is at 200 or 300. You are bringing in a sport that is giving CO2. That is the problem. But I don't think F1 will have issue. Drivers would obviously complain because,
Visibility.
but I don't think that is a big of issue. I don't know. I
That
never been personally
yeah,
to comment
if
on
you go
that.
to Delhi,
Yeah,
if you go to
Delhi
Delhi,
is
there
there.
would be a
I'm
smog.
telling in MotoGP that was not issue. That is the nearest point of reference for me.
See, when would that pollution kicks in October, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. MotoGP didn't have the issue. MotoGP issue was with heat.
But in when would be Chinese Grand Prix? So that
China,
Indian Grand Prix
no, China. Normally, India would only get a slot in October because most of
October.
the.
When would be Chinese Grand Prix?
So it's already over. I think March, April. No, March.
Then we would also have that in March only.
We will not never get that
No,
because why I'll tell you. Because
no,
the early
China
slots
and
are
India logistics again. There will be a logistic mess.
logistic mix would be there, but they would prefer India somewhere down the middle because the slots are already booked. Japan can't be moved because they keep Japan earlier because of some cyclones stuff or something. China can't be moved because again Chinese climate. And I think who else can be one? Which race is in there? Yeah, logistics is a factor, but I don't think that will just be a reason for them to keep India and China together.
They promised FI would promise a race. They won't promise any dates.
Yeah, and not only
They
that,
can move.
the countries which let's say we keep a queue of the countries which are looking to enter F1, the other countries are way ahead of us. I mean, literally, those countries, it's not just a random private guy appealing, it's a government which is appealing.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
But
It's a government issue.
India government has not committed. Just the Adani telling government will commit.
No, government sports minister committed that FI will come.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. But
After that, F1 gave clarification. We are not coming.
it's like you telling I'm going to marry that girl, and girl is telling
You
call it though.
remember? You remember that mess happened with McLaren and Renault. Renault saying Oscar is coming with us. McLaren saying no, he's coming with us. That kind of mess they create.
No, Renault announced Oscar is going to join them.
Yeah,
Oscar
yeah.
told I'm not going to come,
Says no, I'm not coming.
and Renault was crazy enough to do a Twitter post.
Who?
Imagine that.
Who?
Hmm?
Sorry, who?
Renault didn't tell it in a press conference. They did it in social media post. Welcome Oscar Piastri.
Yeah. But would people pay that kind of ticket prices that F1 keeps? 25 lakhs for pit lane visit.
Um, Depends. Elite people will go watch, but the average guy, I don't think so.
But to be very honest, in Europe and America or UK, an average person also visits.
But I don't think, yeah, it is, the pricing is a bit higher. But in Europe, Europe's, if you look at the overall demographics, Europe is in a much better,
Mm.
people are much better equipped to buy tickets like this that compared to our
Yeah.
economy. And not only
Mm.
that, in Europe, F1 is not like cricket. It's similar to cricket. Lot there is a large community out there which kinds of treat F1 as a vacation, as a sport which they can go to enjoy. But in India, that crowd is still evolving.
Now it is getting popular because of
it's
that.
it's popular, but I don't think Europe. They're literally there is a community which worship effort, literally.
Yeah, that is now happening in India.
India,
Maybe after
India, there is it's a niche community. 2%,
niche, yeah.
1% or
I'm
two
saying
percent.
now, no, I'm saying now it is growing because of Drive to Survive. I read an article where it says out of 100 people who watch Drive to Survive, 33 people would be retained to watch the races.
But in that
So it's
33,
33.
only two or three will actually go to the race.
I'm not speaking about the going to race. I'm speaking about the retention
Yeah.
that F1 is
No,
getting.
even that is a valid point. I'll tell you why. You might also experience this. Ever since 2021, random guys have been coming and asking me, "Hey, can you tell me what this car is actually doing? Can you tell me who that guy in
Mm.
the yellow helmet is?
Yeah,
You know that
yeah.
that car? Why did he stop there? Why did he stop there? Even why did the crew
What
change
is
the tires?" Which means we are progressing.
my friend after that 2021 race, before 2022 season starting, he sent me a video where
Mm.
Lewis went out of his line and overtook Max.
Mm.
I said it's Max's line, so penalty is okay. He said, "What is racing line then?"
Yeah.
It's very very technical to explain someone who doesn't watch.
Even if you ask the pros, not we are not pros in any ways, they took nearly 15 years to get a grasp of it. And people nowadays, that even if you go to Reddit is probably one of the areas in social media where you actually know about the
Hmm.
truth, because it's that kind of a crazy. There is a large fight between the F1 OGs and the F1 newbies, because OGs are like, we have the feeling of the sport. And newbies go to ChatGPT and tell me what is F1 like. They will argue with OGs. This is the issue, and OGs are like, what am I supposed to do? Literally, in the F1 community, there is a large split. You can feel that. And OGs are not never going to accept the newbies. Newbies are never going to accept the OGs.
This new guys could argue that Max, nobody can beat Max. Even I've seen in Instagram, there should be a rain because nobody can beat Max in rain.
To an extent, it's valid. To an extent, but that's not the ultimate truth. You should have seen Ayrton Senna, Lewis Hamilton in the prime.
Yeah, who is called God of Rain?
Senna, for me, Senna. For me,
Michael. Michael.
For me, Senna is the god of it. Again, we can argue over that topic for the whole day. It's a different topic. I don't want to get deep into that. For me, it's Senna personally. Numbers makes it vital, but first, knowing about Senna,
Maybe
respect.
Senna. See, that is the point. Maybe I told Michael, you told Senna, but new generation would say it's
Max.
Max.
Max is a great driver in the rain, no doubt about it. But again, it's impossible for us to compare Michael, Max, and Senna and Lewis. Totally, Lewis, because of the generations. Senna and Michael were dealing with totally different circumstances.
So my feeling is, I will end this point here by saying my point.
Mhm.
If you go and ask Nico or Sebastian or any driver who raced with Lewis and Max as well, they would pick Lewis.
Got it. My Again, we'll stop it here because we have much to talk about. My point is, pre 2020, Max Verstappen was a story to forget. Post
Hmm.
2020, he kind of got his head game. The earlier Max Verstappen biggest issue was he was not in the right mind space.
You and I saw Mad Max, but
Mad
new
Max.
generation
Correct.
didn't say Mad Max.
Post 2020, Max Verstappen has matured a lot in terms of his
Yeah.
driving, his mentality, his
Hmm.
approach. Post 2020, Max is probably one of the best drivers in history. Post 2020, pre 2020 is a different story.
Let's come back to the teams. So, how many teams are 11 teams? Okay. So, how would be the points allotted in Formula One? Can you please explain that?
Yeah, sure. So in F1, points are allotted.
No, before points allocation, can you explain how is the racing system does?
So
Pre-practice,
I'll just
qualification.
over the F1 weekend. Let's because since now we are dealing with sprints, F1 weekend
Mm-hmm.
can be split into two: sprint and non-sprint. Non-sprint is very
No.
simple. Friday you have your free practice one, which is around 60 minutes. Then free practice two, which is again about like 60. Then free practice three happens on Saturday morning local time,
Morning.
not our time, local
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That normally is around 45 to 30 or 30 to 45, not sure. Then you have qualifying. Qualifying has three sessions. So let's say 22 cars start. The bottom 15 and below gets dropped out in Q3, Q1, Q1.
Q1.
Then 10 and below gets dropped, I mean 10 to 15 gets dropped in Q2, and the rest will
Q2.
compete for Q3. Then we have the race, and the order in which you end qualifying is the order in which you start the race. Very simple as that.
Yeah.
A small exception here is that in Monaco, that is a particular race of the year, the free practice happens in Thursday. There is a because of certain reasons. Then when you compare to sprint weekend, they will have FP1, they will have sprint qualifying, which is nothing but the order in which you finish the sprint qualifying is the order in which you start the sprint race. Then you
Mm.
have FP3. Then no FP no there is no FP2. Then you directly
Qualification.
go to sprint race. Then you have regular qualifying, and based on the regular qualifying, you have the race. The small caveat here is that I think when sprint system bought in, this was not the
Yeah.
case. The order in which you finish the sprint race is the order in which you start the race.
Order of the. Yeah. Correct.
So that is the regarding the format. Regarding points allocation, F1 allocates 25 points to the winner and 18 to the number two, 11 to number three, and it goes till you reach 1 point for P10. So let's say you two drivers finishes P1 and P2, then you get around like 42 points.
So, to add Shiva's point, I would like to tell you that F1 has two championships running simultaneously. One is your drivers' championship, the other one is constructor championship. Driver championship is the points are calculated on the drivers finishing at that particular points.
Mhm.
For example, if Max finishes 21st place, then 25 points are allotted in the each uh, race depending on what is qualification and what is finishing on that particular race.
Mm.
So your construction points are added by adding two drivers particularly.
Got it. Mm.
Can you just check down the table, points table?
Sure. Just one second. So this is the driver's
There is
table.
one more point given to the
Fastest lap.
driver fastest lap.
Is
For,
it?
for
Is it?
that, you need to finish in top 10.
Is it still there?
Yeah,
I think they ditched that.
it's a
Oh. Mm. Yeah. Mm. So this is the driver's championship. So if you can see, it's segregated based on the driver who has accumulated most points. Then, as you go deep bottom, the drivers have lesser number of points. So then you can also see the team stands. This is what Sai is talking about. This is basically the sum of the two drivers who race for the team. For example, if me and Sai are racing for a team called X, and we have 20 points each, then X's total is 40.
40. That's a constructors championship
It's called
points.
Constructors Championship. And normally teams get paid for the Constructors Championship. Teams will win the, let's say, Mercedes here, let's say they win the championship, they will get a most highest amount of payment. And as you go down, the team finishing last will get the least amount of payment. Payment in the
If
sense,
your
uh,
if any
your
driver is winning driver championship, then it is not necessary that a team also
yes,
wins the
correct.
championship on that place.
For example, I think Max Verstappen won the 2021 championship, but I don't think Red Bull won the constructor championship.
The
Similar with I think 2024 also. Max won the championship, but McLaren I think won the
McLaren won
constructor
the
championship.
McLaren. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is not guaranteed that the fastest driver team will always win.
Hmm.
And teams really care about this because again, it's about the money. So when FIA adds out the prize money, it's based on this order and certain
Can I,
niche conditions. Mm.
on this 11 teams, how many are the engine suppliers? That's the main point, right?
Regarding that, currently there are Mercedes, Ferrari, Audi, Honda. That's it, if I'm right.
Red
And
Bull
then
powertrains.
Red Bull powertrains. So these guys are called what we call the factories. They make their own power unit and they also supply other teams.
So can you go for the drivers and the teams, or would you like me to?
You can.
So it's Red Bull team is called Oracle Red Bull Racing. The drivers are Max Verstappen and Asagaja.
Hmm.
We got Mercedes AMG Petronas, then we got Kimi and George. Ferrari we got Lewis and Charles Leclerc. McLaren we got Lando and Oscar. Aston Martin we got Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll is son of Lawrence Stroll, who is the owner of Aston Martin. We got Audi, Nico Hulkenberg and Bortolato. Alpine, we got Gasly and Carlo Pinto. Then we got Red Bull, which is also called a Red Bull Race Junior team of Red Bull. It's
Racing
RB
goods.
Racing Bulls. We got Lam Lawson and Arvin. Then we got the OG Haas Saffron. We got Esteban Ocon and Oli Berman. Then we got the American team, the new kid Cadillac.
Cadillac.
We got Sergio Perez and Walter Bottas.
Ultra Motors.
Bottas. Out of this show, what is your dream combination like? You
Current
want
grid.
these guys to be
Current grid.
any of them, any
Or the,
grade.
or the historically or the
Historically, you can pick any team driver, any team, put in mix and match everything.
historically, I would say I will just split it into car, Team because car is different. The people who run the team is different.
No,
And
you pick two drivers, one car, one team principal. Any mix
one
and match,
okay,
anything.
fine. Car Mercedes W20, not W20,
Okay,
W11, the monster.
okay, okay.
Uh, Team Red Bull from the any era because they are the most efficient when it comes
No,
to
you pick team that is already
yeah. You
Mercedes.
want
How
the
can you?
team principle. Team
Yeah, team
principle,
principal.
I would say. I'm so confused. John Todt from the Ferrari era, Schumacher era.
John Todd, okay.
Drivers Max Verstappen, current Max Verstappen, and Senna.
Who would you want to win?
Senna all day.
I'll pick out of the box.
Hmm.
Team obviously Mercedes. For driver, I would pick Pastor Maldonado and Roman Grosjean and team principal Gunter Steiner. I want this combination to win.
If that wins, there is going to be a lot of dead bodies.
Lot of
Dead bodies. Maldonado will create so many crashes. Or I would say better. I mean, like imagine this. I'm just thinking, Maldonado is definitely in the picture, but I think Grosjean deserves more credit. Instead, who would I pick?
Gunter Steiner. I
Steiner, okay,
have
fine.
heard
Yeah.
fine. No, I have watched Drive to Survive. I have learned all that English, no, German offensive words from Gunter Steiner.
Gunter Steiner. No, I'm thinking of a worse driver to put in than Roman Grosjean.
Do you think he's the worst, or is there any
No,
worse
he's
driver?
actually a great driver. Just ended up in the wrong team at the wrong times. He's because he's not a bad driver in any way. I mean,
Who is the
Maldonado.
worst driver? You think?
You look at cost to the team, Maldonado. Danger to the
Okay,
team, Maldonado. Danger to other drivers, Maldonado. Um,
Nikita Mazepin.
Mazepin at least didn't was not crashing as frequently as Maldonado. All time OG Maldonado, all time. But I would say
You saw that Drive to Survive, right? In season 4, did you watch?
I don't recall the exact. I watched it. I recall
In
number.
season 1, first episode, Gunter Steiner comes in, shows off like he's the number one team, does every shit.
Mm,
First race, third lap, his driver is gone.
mm.
First race, first lap, third corner, driver out. So coming to today's race, which is pre-scheduled at 10:30 Indian Standard Time. So I think the grid is
Antonelli,
Antonelli, Max, and Charles Leclerc.
Leclerc, Lando is in P4.
Lewis P7, I think.
Hmm. What's your prediction? Who's gonna win? Not win. Yeah.
Before coming to that, why do you think that one Red Bull driver does good every time, the other one doesn't do? Then every year it is repeating that the second driver is get changed every year.
Uh, if I go deep into that, the lot of people won't understand. I will tell you a simple analogy which Max Verstappen's teammate Alex Albon always puts.
Hmm.
Take a mouse, set the sensitivity to 100%, move it a slight inch, the mouse goes somewhere. This is the Red
Hmm.
Bull car. Only Max Verstappen can manage it, the sensitivity and the requirements. It's not a Max's fault, just that the car is tuned. He can normally adapt to any stupid car. The other drivers don't normally adapt unless you are Sergio Perez, who struggled a bit but still did better.
But why would they change driver every year?
Because Red Bull with Max alone, like we told earlier, they have to win the constructors championship. Max winning every day, every race won't get them that. They need their second driver to deliver. That's it.
But you can't match Max. Everybody knows that.
No one is expecting you to match Max, but everyone is expecting you to beat others.
But it does is anybody could do that? Could anyone match
The
Max? At
closest
least
anyone has ever come to matching him on the same car is Pacheco.
or Daniel?
Daniel was no, not close. Daniel lost his head when Max came into the team.
Hmm.
I would say Checo only, but Checo also failed because in 2023 this guy won what 28 races and this guy won one. Checo. He dominated him, but he was close, not close enough. Mm.
And Daniel, you think he's good driver or bad?
Ricardo is a great
What's the
driver.
point?
He's not a.
Great driver.
I don't think he's a consistent world champion. But every one world, every other. I mean, it's a random world championship winner. I mean, that's what my point is because great overtaker. But I had not seen him enough winning races consistently to rate him very highly.
I remember him in McLaren, Lando in Monaco. He was one lap behind Daniel.
Ricardo, I think after the moment he left Red Bull, he had some glory times with Renault, but he could never be in the same level because he used to do this outrageous late break. That is what he's always known for. He will literally late break you from nowhere. But the problem was that none of the other cars had the front end stability of the Red Bull to match his style.
He got blue flag to let Lando pass through. And you know what Lando did? Bye.
That should be that really hurts.
So today, your predictions for the race?
Kimi Antonelli is not it. Had stopped. Why,
Kimi.
if you ask me, last year also Kimi did well in Miami. If you remember, I think he got beaten by Oscar and Lando, and I think he won the sprint. If I'm right, not sure. So Kimi knows this
He
track
won the
well.
sprint.
Yeah, he won the sprint. Kimi knows the track well. He is doing well in terms of his rhythm. Like last two races, he's been winning. So unless and until he decides to screw it up himself, he's gonna win.
You think Kimi can beat Max in equal cars?
No.
But Toto says he can.
You have to propose something, right? Toto will believe he is the next messiah. He's
Next
not
big
bad
thing.
in any way, but I don't think he's that max level guy.
But point is he better than George? Lord Max. Is he better than Mr. Saturday?
Currently, yes, because equal cars, everything he is winning today. But overall, is no, I don't know. I would say no. Russell's problem is that he has always had the caliber. Mercedes haven't delivered him a great car to prove it. Now they are. Now he is kind of losing the grip. He needs to be. He needs to pick it up.
He is second driver.
Uh, Technically, George is the main driver of the team, but Mercedes pretends as a Kimi is because they are vouching Kimi as a long-term prospect.
They want someone engaged to win the championship and they are projecting Kimi.
think currently that record is held by Sebastian. I think Kimi, if he wins this year, he will definitely beat it. But I think if he loses it, I think Sebastian won it at 22, if I'm right. What age did Max win
What
it?
was Seb's age? 20 years.
22 when he won it. 2000, because Seb is an
Kimi is
80s.
18, right?
Yes, yeah,
Kimi is 18.
Kimi is 19 now.
19, okay.
So Sebastian Vettel won when he is 22. Max Verstappen won at what age? He's a 97. At 20, oh, Max Verstappen won at 24 only. Not 24, 25, 26. No, he's a 97 guy. So I'm just calculating.
So 97 in the
24.
sense he
Verstappen
would be
won at
26
24,
or
24, 24.
24.
So, yeah, the record is definitely there for the taking.
Hmm. Any other point we missed in?
No, from I think we are good.
Okay, we missed in who has the most number of championships in F1. We missed the main point. Who holds the most number of championships?
Lewis,
Who are goats?
Goats, Lewis, Michael Schumacher, Senna.
7,
Oh, you're talking about championships. Then Lewis and Michael are tied on 7. Then
7.
Alain Prost is at 5.
Okay.
Senna is at no. Then Max is at 4. Senna is at
4.
3. Alonso is at 2. And
Seb. You forgot Seb.
oh, how can I forget? Seb is at 4. 4 on the trot, by the way. Max also 4 on the trot.
Max also 4.
On the trot. Continues.
Okay.
Lewis did that, I think, 2017, 18, 19, 20. And Nico only did 16. So otherwise, it would have been a straight 6 or 7.
What about the constructors? Obviously, it's
Most
McLaren,
successful,
Ferrari, Williams.
no, most successful is actually Ferrari. Then
Yeah,
I think it's McLaren, then Williams,
McLaren,
then Mercedes.
Williams, Mercedes. Yeah. Any point we missed in important that could have been? I'm just thinking.
Mhm.
So still there are many points, but we don't want to go into full technical and screw
Yeah,
the
we will
stream right now.
cover everyone. Yeah.
Today's okay. I got few. We'll ask some random questions. You have to give it in a one answer.
One word.
Yeah. One word answer. Fastest finger first we call it. Your favorite track?
My favorite track. Monza.
Monza, okay. Your favorite team?
How about this? I answer and you also answer so that we get different person. So you can answer the first question.
Sorry?
I will answer, then you also answer the same question so that I get a different
Okay, you
person.
want me to answer the same
Yeah.
question? Okay. I think Spa.
Spa. Makes sense. Next.
Favorite team?
Versus all time. All time.
Yeah, Mercedes. Mercedes. Your favorite driver in the current grid other than Lewis? Because we both are Lewis, we don't want him to put in other than Lewis.
Max.
Oscar.
Okay.
Favorite team principal any time. Pick any of them.
Any era.
Any era.
Frank Williams, because of the fact that he came from scratch. He built everything from scratch.
I would go with Toto or Fed.
Okay.
Toto because I started watching and Toto was on peak. And he's a bit cool also. Always be in formals like team.
In my opinion,
principal.
Toto is a great principal. I don't deny that. But the issue I went with Williams was that Toto all was a is a investor who invested in the Mercedes, came in and did the things. Frank Williams
Yeah,
had to build the team from scratch. That's why I always go with Frank Williams. He had to build it from scratch
Frank Williams.
without
Correct.
even
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
even a single employee.
He's a great guy, Frank Williams.
Yeah, but
He won
oh,
how many? Four, five championships.
yeah, but over time he kind of had his health issues and team was not doing well and he got posted out.
Hmm.
But legend in his own way.
Present grade also, I think Fred is also very good.
Present grade, present grade, I will definitely give it to Toto over Fred because Fred is not proven in F1. He's a proven F2. In
He's
F1,
not
he's not.
proven. I'm saying that he's not as bad as Christian Horner in
Christian
terms
Horner,
of of the track.
Horner is very successful, by the way, but his off-track fanatics is not so appreciable.
In that scenario, Fred is good.
Yeah. I would ask you a question. Favorite livery of all time?
Favorite livery.
Mm.
Force India,
Orange and white.
Indian flag. Yeah. US
Mercedes 2020 dark mode.
black.
Yeah, pitch black with the green highlights.
I more than black. I like the silver thing.
Uh, Black was a menacing. It is menacing actually. It looked like you were dealing
But
with a demon.
they are called silver arrows, right?
They are called silver arrows, but black was
The
something else.
black. There is a reason why they put in black.
Yeah.
That's to support Lewis.
No, initially that was not the reason. They
That was the reason.
saved about certain grams in weight, and they did it. Over time, this also became a reason.
That they promoted this, right?
Yeah, they promote initially that was the reason they managed to save some minor grams by going actually increase the
Paint
weight.
coloring. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they kind of did that, and over time this also became a reason. It's like a double whammy. One more question for you. Uh, Favorite driver to not win a championship?
Not win the championship.
Yeah,
Anytime.
all time,
Correct date.
all time.
Oscar Piastri.
See,
I think last year, who was the champion last year?
Lando, Lando Norris,
How many people remember?
Lando
How
Norris,
many people talk about that?
Lando Norris remembers.
How many people talk about that?
He was not the favorite. That's the Oscar,
Not here.
but I would say to an extent, Oscar ditched it. It's not that
It's all
Lando.
team decision to make Lando Norris win the championship. It's all personal agenda of Zach Brown.
Lando is Max's favorite guy. Not Max's, Zach's.
Zach's favorite.
Zach Stepson.
Zach is the team CEO, but acts as a principal. He's not.
Got it.
Pick one driver. I'll ask you. Senna, Nikki, Lewis.
Senna.
Reason behind Senna?
The aura. Senna had no one has the aura, the skill, and very
Aura
bad
we
aura.
didn't see.
We didn't see, but imagine what happens if we had seen. We are still feeling that aura years after he passed away.
Yeah, after his death, also people talk about
He is special.
Senna.
He was special, basically. Yeah, he was.
Hmm.
He had his own issues like politics and all this stuff, but he was great. I mean, the things he could do with the car.
Hmm.
Very
putting
tired.
him above, you're putting him above Nikki
Yeah,
after that accident.
yeah. I personally, yes. I mean, I respect Nikki, but personally, all time, if you take all time, Senna is always number one for me. I would say that, I mean, very controversial point. That is partly down to Atom being a martyr, maybe.
Partly,
Down to him having passed away, he carries a special place in a lot of our hearts. When you compare to pure numbers, pure skill, everything. Yeah, Nikki also passed away, but that's different, right? Ayrton
hmm,
passed away. Ayrton's death is what saved a lot of people's lives in a way.
hmm.
Yeah.
But Nikki's accident also saved a lot of people.
In fact, did you know
Like
that?
now, for example, it's today's race.
Uh,
Because of the thunderstorms,
mm,
FIA has decided to prepone the race by
Report the
3 hours.
race.
Isn't this because of Nikki?
I will tell you one more fact to support this in a way. When Ayrton
Hmm?
died, if I'm right, Niki Lauda was one of the few people who was responsible for bringing in changes. FIA
Winning?
what when Ayrton died,
Yeah.
FIA wanted to bring in changes, lot of changes, but FIA was not willingly doing it. Niki Lauda was the one who formed the committee that made the changes. If I'm right,
Hmm.
don't get quote me on it, but I am pretty sure this happened.
And also, Nikki is this guy who who convinced Lewis to get into Mercedes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that five more championship Nico would have been.
If you tell that to an purist Ayrton fan, the reply would be Ayrton was the guy who convinced him to get into F1.
Who convinced Nikki?
No, Ayrton was the guy who convinced Lewis to even drive F1.
But
No,
technically speaking, that is not.
that's not comparable, but I'm just telling you. Totally different eras, scenarios, impact. Nicky also had an impact post his career. Ayrton unfortunately didn't get the opportunity.
But why was Lewis into Mercedes? That was shocker. That was only pure reason is Nikki. That is, there is no Toto in between.
As much as Lewis agrees it, that is not the only reason. I personally don't think Lewis only see McLaren was struggling. No, not struggling.
Hmm.
They were not at the peak. Then
McLaren was at least struggling. Mercedes was nowhere middle.
they were
Mercedes
in
was
2012.
midfield car.
2012 they were coming back, not to the level which we saw later, but they were showing signs. I personally think the plan was there. The plan which Mercedes proposed was the one. Nicky was definitely a factor, but
Hmm.
20 to 30%, Mercedes told that this is the plan. You are going to struggle in 2013. Ignore that.
Is Lewis? You think is Lewis now feeling guilty to move to Ferrari?
I don't think so. Yeah, in a racing perspective, yes, but at the end of the day, he made the decision willingly. It was not as if he got kicked out of the team or something, right? So from a personal standpoint,
That
he
was his
doesn't.
personal decision. I think Ferrari was also paying very higher than
Yeah,
Mercedes.
I would have appreciated him ending his career with Mercedes. It would have been a super story.
Hmm.
But now, I personally don't think he has is slowly washing away a lot of his legacy. Slowly, it's not a very fast process, very slow process. Every time he struggles in a Ferrari, is a nail to his own coffin,
I personally feel either Lewis should retire this year
which I don't
or
think he will.
switch, come back to Mercedes next season.
Mercedes won't allow that because future Kimi, they won't allow a very old Lewis to come back because they are pretty solid that this guy left us.
Mercedes won't agree. I believe Toto will agree.
Why? Because this guy left us. So why am I appreciating him back? That is going to be Mercedes's point. When we needed,
But
not
that
we,
guy went and took that guy went and took your 50% fan base with him.
no, not only fan base. It's like I leaving a company without any pressure, and 2 years later I'm struggling in my new company, telling, "Arey yaar, I'll be back. Let's work together." I'm like, why do the company? Why do I need you back? I'm in a good position even without you. You are going to come. You're going to create all this aura farming and go. I
You
don't think.
remember in first race or second race, don't remember. Toto saying three Mercedes drivers in top three.
Mm.
You got you got his point.
Was memeing about Lewis.
He's telling George, Kimi, Lewis. He's counting Lewis as Mercedes driver. So on that point, I'm telling that Toto can bring him
Got it.
because do you think that Ferrari would extend Lewis' contract?
Mm. Personally, no,
No.
but I don't know because he's not delivering to a level Ferrari is expecting. I think they're going to let him run his contract now. Apart from a bit of fans, not a bit, a lot of fans, a bit of money, he's not bringing anything else right now to the team. And I
Who do you
always,
think?
sorry,
Who do you think which team can get Lewis if?
no one can afford him apart from the big Mercedes. Aston will, but Lewis will never go to Aston.
Hey, can be a great combination, right? Alonso out, you are Aiden Newey and Lewis Hamilton winning championship next year.
It's a sweet story, but again, I don't think because see, Aston can afford him, but the problem is that Aston is already tried to get a plan to ditch Alonso. It's a long plan. Now,
Hmm.
if two of them come together, they are gonna have to make plan A to get rid of Mr. Privilege, B to get face out to old guys. I don't think Aston will do it. Aston can afford it. They are probably one of the few teams which can afford it.
If somebody is not affording him, able to afford him, he will bring down his price.
I don't think so because brand Lewis is much bigger than the team itself, and him taking a pay cut wouldn't look good for brand Lewis.
Can Cadillac afford?
No, they won't invest that much money so early. Lewis won't come to Cadillac also. It's like you betting on a very new team that is really struggling.
Okay, I have won 7 championship. Now it's all matters is money. Whoever paying me, I'll go to that car.
Ideally, that's there, but this is Lewis Hamilton. He's so hungry for the eighth that he give. I think if a team is telling, I'm gonna 1,000% give you the best car next year, you drive me for free, he will do it. Provided they write in a blank paper, you give me the fastest car or I am out.
Who will give that fastest car?
I think right now Ferrari is his best bet for giving him a faster. He will never go to Red Bull. Red Bull won't even take him. That's a different story.
What if Max moves to Mercedes?
Still, Red Bull won't take Lewis because Red Bull is much that historically doesn't go for drivers this age because they are a kind of a long plan team.
Perez?
Perez is not at 40. He was not 40, right? Red Bull is and there is going to be a lot of he's going
Once,
to
see, understand a scenario. Once Max moves out of Red Bull,
Red
who
Bull
is
is
their face?
Red Bull is going to bet on a Hazard on it.
So
They
who would be the driver?
Red Bull historically doesn't bring anyone from the outside until they have no other options.
Outside, yeah, Perez.
Yeah, no, no. That Perez is always the last resort. The Red Bull will never
Yeah.
consider the outsider as a first option.
Hmm.
Red Bull will only do it if they feel Hajar is stupid, Greenblatt is stupid, Lawson is not going to come back, or the guy who they have been lining up from the junior formulas are useless.
Red Bull can think in a way, right? Hey, if this Mercedes got Max, let's bring Mercedes driver back in Red Bull.
What is there is no logic in that. Like
Logically, they'll think.
as much as it sounds like chess, Red Bull won't do that.
Who can afford them? Audi?
No, because those are
Think Audi can.
relatively the brand is big, but would they invest around 100 million a year on a driver? No, because that is literally bigger than the budget. The only teams which can
100
afford them
million. What is project? 120 million.
close to that. I think the only teams that can afford them is Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston. No, McLaren won't can't even afford them because
No, Zach won't bring him because Zach's best friend is in that car.
Zach's godson.
Zach is godfather of Lando.
No, I don't think even Aston would bring him. Mercedes would bring him. So I technically feel Ferrari over Lewis Hamilton has to retire because I don't see any team offering him a contract unless they want to increase their fan base for couple of years by 200%, which no team I don't think is interested in right now.
If no team is interested for
He'll retire.
Lewis,
He'll retire because he has nothing to
he will
prove.
be
He'll retire.
he will, he will retire or he will go to any other
No,
championships.
no, no. I don't think he's a guy like Max who's hungry to continuously race. I think he will.
MotoGP.
No, no. It's not easy to get into MotoGP. He will end up in Moto 3. No team will directly put him in MotoGP. So,
NASCAR definitely.
no, I personally think if Lewis retires, he's going to end up in a movie industry production or something. I don't think he's going to even race.
I personally feel he will try at least one thing. NASCAR or Le Mans, something he will try.
I difference is that Max is the kind of guy who's hungry for these things. Lewis, I don't
Okay.
sense a hunger outside of FIFA. He might be
I
talented
personally feel that Lewis should reduce the cost,
and
get to the midfield
that is the
team,
ideal
win the
scenario,
championship.
like what Alonso did. But Alonso didn't take
Hmm.
a pay cut. That's a difference. But the problem is that brand Lewis is so big that taking a pay cut wouldn't help no one.
Just imagine Lewis bringing down his paycheck, signing a midfield car,
And winning.
winning championship.
Ideally, that doesn't happen in F1, but it's a good story.
It happened. Come
When,
on,
when
Apex GP.
please don't. I don't want to talk about it much. The
No,
only team
no, Michael did right. Michael did
with
with his new first team.
Benetton was a fast car. It was not a great. It was a fast car. See
Like
midfield.
jeans making
See
company.
midfield with a great car. That is the catch. Midfield with a midfield car. Even Max or Senna can't even win.
The midfield car you can't win. I'm saying that for this season it would be midfield. For the
Yeah,
next two can be a championship.
then he can win. I don't think he is that bad.
I predict if he retires, his next should be movie production.
Yeah, movie production, reality TV, those kind of stuff.
He will be the lead actor.
And
Lead actress should be, you know,
I just want to tell it.
Kardashian. Kim Kardashian.
Let's see.
How many hours is this stream gone to?
1.5 hours already. I was planning 1 hour.
I think mostly we covered last 10 minutes. It was all stupid things, but mostly we covered everything.
Lot of it.
Basics all we covered. FIA, F1, teams,
1 second.
drivers.
Yeah. I'm gonna Stop the stream. Yeah, now you have to continue.
You stopped the stream.
Yeah,